Dragons in. This is a J Dragon production, and I'd like to appreciate everybody that sits right there and watches this video. Thank you so much, and I also like you to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button for every video I lay down. Now, I'm just going to listen to this and all this music and see this good stuff that I've done over the years. I appreciate y'all. Alright, how y'all doing today? All this stuff that I got up on here is just some of the products that I use for dyeing, airbrush painting, adding as extras, and GAC 900 is basically the same thing as this. It's an extra. Alright, on one of my videos where I was dyeing the shoe up here with the dye like normal, well, basically I was using this to cover up the bottom. This was the blue tape, and I had some red vinyl tape, or you can call it wire tape, and I would sit right there and take it like this. And the reason why I did this is because it would hold way better on the plastic than the regular tape, and I can curve it and get it on there in certain areas the way I want to and get it closer to the edge better than I normally could with your average tape. And then I could stretch it to make it longer so I could save a little more. And then, yeah, at the bottom of it, now painter's tape, it really don't hold that well unless it's on a wall or something like that, maybe drywall and stuff like that. Well, you put it on this type of tape, it holds pretty well. So that's the reason why I sit right there and had this and this, because I wanted to save this tape a little bit more, because the adhesive sometimes can be too strong and it can pull off the plastic. So that's one of the reasons why I worry about using this type of tape as much. And because it gave me a crisper thing and kept the plastic from being hit by the black paint, and kept all this safe and didn't get to bleed on the plastic, it was pretty good. So anyway, after that, let me see now. Okay, alright, yes, there's another person sit right there and left a message on my YouTube, and they sit right there and said that don't let the shoe get wet or your feet would be dyed. Well, there's two things that you could do that could prevent it, help. Now, I ain't gonna say it's gonna do it 100%, but it will help the most. Now, after you dyed the shoe, you want to wash it, but first you want to let it dry for a couple of days, because the ink will take a long time to dry. Alright, next thing you want to do is, after you let it dry, you could take and put a water sealer, a repellent, or whatever. I usually like the Angelus and repellent, spray and repellent, whichever way you want to say it. But even with this, if you sit right there and spray it up over it like that, it will sit right there and still, if let's say you step into the water and it gets wet on the other side, too much water, and then your foot's still going to get wet, and then dye could possibly go to the other side. But sometimes when you let it dry long enough, you wash the excess off, that will help, but it will also get rid of some of the ink, and all the ink into it that we had would fade away a little bit more, as you can see. So anyway, that's one of the tips, and I really like using this stuff. This stuff, it is really good product, and a little dirt on the bottom of it, but anyway, I've had it for a while. It works well. I ain't gonna say it'll sit right there and make all your stuff water resistant. You do it a couple of times and it works pretty good. So I like the product. You can get different types of product that'll do the same thing, but this is my favorite so far. This was the first one that I used. Alright, on to the next one. Now that we're done with that, we're going to talk about jacquard black. Now, you've seen me use something like this on that jacket that had the bleach stain. Now, they got other colors you can sit right there and color match it. Like, we got red jacquard, we got hot pink jacquard, we got beige jacquard. It needs to be shooken up, but otherwise, you got yellow, you got blue, you got any color you could think of. You can even get metal type ones, but those would not be for this stuff. So anyway, alright, now also remember with that type of stuff, I used it on this jacket for back in the day, on this, and it almost got rid of it. Now, just have to color match it, but this shirt is actually old, so most of the ink in the outside of it is gone, so that's why it still looks lighter. So what you want to do is you want to mix your Angelus paint with either Too Soft. I usually do a 50-50 when it comes to this, and I mix it up and put it in there. What we do is you spray it on, then you use the heater and heat it up. What the heat gun does is, right after you do it, it'll sit right there and it makes the cloth still be pliable like this, and it will get the same effect as the dye, but that can also keep your feet from being bled on by the ink. That's one of the other ways that I like to use for it, and it works well. That's why my jacket looks a little bit better, but it ain't 100, so let's see what we can do with the jacquard. You don't really have to put that medium in, it's already got it in it. So if you sit right there and use this, that's usually, you could just sit right there and spray this on, or you can still add the additive into it. And these are my two favorite mediums that I like to add into it, because the first thing I learned about was the GAC 900, but the first product I tried was the Too Soft, because I got it first because I was going online with the Angelus brands and testing it out, and well, turned out well. And that's how I did that with the shirt, with my jacket, my old jacket. But I still got it around. It looks better than what it did with the bleach stain from the old job, and it looks good. It looks better than it did, so I'm always glad for that. But the GAC 900 is exactly the same as Too Soft, so I like using both of them. I really haven't used this one that much, but we'll get in the process to do it eventually, because I know I got plenty of shoes to do this stuff with. So we'll get some in the next couple of days, maybe in the next couple of weeks. We'll see, because I got some projects I'm working on right now, and we'll see what's going on. So anyway, always want to make sure you got that type of stuff, and you always want to make sure you got the Angelus paint. Now, you also want to make sure you have this. and I really like jacquard. Sometimes I like to mix these two mediums together, and it comes out with a little bit stronger paint than what you would normally think, and it makes it easier to spray, because if you had this for a while, instead of putting too thin in it, you don't have to. This will thin it out and it'll work good. That's one of the tips I like. So anyway, if you like this video, hit me a like, thumbs up if you like the video, don't, and maybe thumbs down if don't matter, because it's all the same. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like the content. I appreciate you all. Thank you.